Hi, my name is Jessica Clark, and I'm a candidate for the Masters of Educational Technology program at Boise State University. The purpose of the following videos is to show evidence of meeting the standards for the Association for Educational Communications and Technology. To show this evidence, I have provided specific artifacts that have been created throughout my MET program.
This is my video vignette 1 for Standard 1. The artifact that I will use to demonstrate evidence of Standard 1 is a persuasive writing web quest created in EdTech 502. The objective of this web quest was for students to understand that persuasion involves emotional, logical, and rational arguments supported by facts, details, or emotional appeal. As students explored the web quest, they discovered elements found in good persuasive writing. They also explored literature from the Gothic era, such as the House of Usher, and used this information to appeal to their target audience, the readers of the Gothic times. As editors of the Gothic Times, students were responsible for creating a sales brochure for the classified section of the paper. Students used their understanding of real estate buzzwords and persuasive writing to get the House of Usher sold. This assignment was created using an online printing press and submitted through Google Classrooms before being displayed as a digital gallery walk. Students also wrote a persuasive article that covered a specific section of the paper, such as lifestyle, local news, or fashion. Students wrote articles, used the peer review process, and then published the article to the Gothic Times Google Doc, a collaborative document that we shared as a class. The final step was for students to create an advertisement that appealed to people during the Gothic era. They wanted, as the editors of the newspaper, for it to grow, so they needed effective advertisement to draw readers in. This advertisement indicated student understanding of persuasive visual and written techniques. Thank you for viewing Artifact 1 of the ACET standards. This video vignette 2 represents AECT Standard 2. The two artifacts that I will use to demonstrate evidence of Standard 2 include the Ultimate Book Trailer and the Blended Learning Fractured Fairy Tale, both created in EdTech 521. The Ultimate Book Trailer project was a way for students to create a book trailer to promote their independent novels. This included several components to demonstrate student understanding without giving away too much of their book. First, students created a glog to store all of their assignment artifacts, including research, images, and links. Within the glog, students created a book trailer using Animoto, They also had to use Pictochart to show 4 types of conflict that happened within their novel. Finally, students found 2 resources, such as an article, a poem, a picture, or a video clip, that related to a significant topic in their novel. They had the opportunity to be extremely creative and were challenged to get other students to want to read their book without giving too much away. These projects that students created each got a QR code. The QR code was placed throughout the classroom and students participated in an interactive gallery walk. By the end, students were able to create a list of books that they were most interested in reading. In EdTech 521, I created a fractured fairy tale revamped, which was a process of transforming a traditional lesson into a blended lesson. The changes that were made included adding technologies for the purpose of enhancing the learning process. Students went to a National Geographic link to find specific tales based on what they were interested in reading. Then students took the elements of the tale and plotted it in an interactive plot chart. Students also viewed a Prezi and took notes on what they viewed to be important instead of having that information given to them in a whole class format. Students also went to the Library of Congress website and viewed interactive versions of Aesop fables. Once students had completed the digital reading, plotting, and note-taking, they were able to create collaborative fables or fairy tales using Storyboard, and then they presented those to the class. The addition of technologies in the blended version of this lesson really enhanced the collaborative components of this activity and allowed students freedom to creatively represent their ideas. This is Video Vignette 3 for AECT Standard 3 Learning Environment. The artifacts that I will use to demonstrate evidence of this standard include an online learning tools presentation and a mobile learning activity webpage. An online learning tool that I explored in 522 was Padlet. I demonstrate its versatility, multiple subject application, and its collaborative components in the form of a Padlet. The example that I created hosts video tutorials, classroom applications, and sample activities, along with potential learning objectives and evidence of how this tool can increase the presence of social, cognitive, and instructor presence in the blended or online environment. In EdTech 502, I created an M-Learning webpage. Although my class wasn't able to visit Anne Frank in person, jump back to World War II, or take a field trip to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., we could see applications on our devices to give us a better understanding of the world during the Holocaust. The apps that students downloaded included Anne's Amsterdam, Second Life, and the Holocaust Museum app. Anne's Amsterdam allows students to explore the town that Anne grew up in. They can collect items from various locations in the city, such as places where Anne and her friends played or went to school. The items collected show personal stories and more photos. In Second Life, students select avatars to journey through 3D virtual worlds representing life during World War II. In the Holocaust Museum app, students could access interviews, eyewitness testimonies, and short video clips that would be on display in the museum. Through the use of technology, students are able to learn through simulated environments and get a better understanding of history. This is my video vignette for AECT Standard 4 Professional Knowledge and Skills. The artifact that I will use to demonstrate evidence of Standard 4 is my EdTech 503 Instructional Design Project. This project demonstrated how to use Storyboard as a digital collaborative writing tool. In order to understand the learner better, I sent out a needs assessment survey using Google Forms. The information from the survey helped design instruction to meet the needs and interests of my peers. This instruction included video tutorials, presentations, flowcharts, and PDF tutorials. I also collaborated with a subject matter expert to refine the instructional design and provide learners with better content. Learners were given an opportunity to collaborate within a professional development setting. They worked with other teachers to create samples they could use in their own classrooms. To evaluate the impact of instruction on learning, a survey was sent out to participants. From these results, changes were made for additional improvements. This is my video vignette for AECT Standard 5 Research. The three artifacts that we'll reference include a 504 annotated bibliography on strategies for improved literacy outcomes, a 503 synthesis report on constructivist strategies for improved literacy outcomes, and a 523 reading intervention program that I use in my classroom with struggling readers. Statistics indicate that the number of students that can't read at proficient grade levels is increasing. So in EdTech 504, I created an annotated bibliography in which I researched methods to help improve student literacy skills. I focused on two specific strategies that appear to be effective. The first is the use of literature circles, in which students engage in peer negotiation, seeking knowledge, and exploring new technologies while grappling with critical questions. Research also showed that students who talk about what they read are more likely to engage in reading. The second effective strategy included the use of digital learning tools, which was explored further in the 503 synthesis paper. Digital teaching tools promote literacy in 21st century digital citizens. When kids use digital teaching tools, they are integrating play into learning, which may be an important factor in learning itself. In 523, I created a reading intervention program that used literacy strategies researched in the previous classes. This included using digital literature circles, using digital teaching tools, and a program that lasted for a 6-week timeline. The research provided instructional guidelines and procedures to implement this reading intervention in my classroom, which is still being used and constantly being changed for more effectiveness. Thank you.